By far and away, the Disney parks are still the best profitable place for the Walt Disney Company. There is nowhere else in their company that they can find this kind of revenue with this kind of cost. Profits they have indeed. But somehow, someway, Disney is squandering away the goodwill that guests have when they cross through those turnstiles at Disney World, Disneyland, and beyond. So what is going on? Well, it turns out, folks, that we're here to say nobody in the Disney C-suite seems interested in defending the Disney parks. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we are always so excited to have you because you are the gigawatts, the electricity that drives it all. And what drives Disney, the company? Well, the Disney parks. Disney World makes up something like 30% of all of Disney's profits. Disney Cruises not far behind, Disneyland a distant third. So why is it then that Disney refuses to take the care and consideration necessary to shepherd these parks into a bright tomorrow? Instead, what seems to be happening is a haphazard slapping of IPs and franchises into places they don't belong, and frankly, getting rid of Americana any way that Disney can. Folks, we'll tell you why we think that with an expert panel talking about the latest scoop we have, and we'll do it right now.
Go ahead.
Think about how they've torn out the Polynesian village aspect of the Poly, right? They took away the luau. They took away a lot of things.
Really? It's gone?
Yeah.
Yep, luau.
Yeah, well, the atrium, that had all the waterfalls and the orchids and all of that gone.
Yeah. So when I look at those things, and I'm looking at what they're planning to do. First of all, somebody is going to hit the halt button on putting Radiator Springs back there. I can't see it. I've been spending the last 10 minutes in seething, trying to figure out how they could go about making this work, and they just can't. It's going to. This is something that's going to be seen from across the park, even Fantasyland. Right? Yeah, there's there. Yes, thank you.
This is where the luau was, Alan. Now you have a giant Marriott.
Looks like Honolulu now.
This is an eyesore. This is an eyesore that they're going to have to live with on the lake, in the premier location of the lagoon. They're going to have to live with this for decades of this just absolute ugly. This could not be more ugly. And they didn't even try like they did in Hawaii. Have you guys seen Aulani?
Aulani looks beautiful. It's got like that same cultural Polynesian feel to it. It blends in with the surroundings of nature. This sticks out like a freaking eyesore.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just have to point out, I don't mean to be vash on this live stream and point out all the Disney Imagineer quotes here, but Joe Rohde did an excellent talk on a podcast. I believe it's called Zeitgeist. It's a bunch of people that are talking about theme park development, things like this. And Joe Rohde, I'm pretty sure, was in charge of Aulani, but he was talking about the process of Aulani and the fact that he was so closely tied to that. And he talked about all the things that you need to do, and you start with the business reasons for why you do it, and then you add in all of the stuff that makes it special, that makes it unique. I look at that Poly building, and I just think, well, they stopped at the business reasons because they figured everything else. They've stopped adding cool and amazing things to this park. Culture, you said something that I have a question for you. If you say someone is going to stop this, looking at the top of the company, I don't think Bob Iger would stop the destruction of Frontierland or Beyond Big Thunder. I definitely don't think DeMauro does it. I think that he thinks that Big Thunder, or whatever the name of this stupid expansion is, he's not going to stop it because that's a feather in his cap. The closest you would get is Bruce Vaughn, who I think is on shaky territory because he's a white guy in charge of Imagineering again after the lady that was just in charge of it, that was brought in during the Summer of Love, that she has now exited the company, and Bruce Vaughn is there to shepherd all that. He would be the only person I think that would push back against this copy paste idea. And he's essentially the contractor, and Damaro is the client, and the client is going to be the one to say, I want more of this. I want this thing that sells.
Here's a huge problem though, and I'm gonna say it this way. You will be able to see this from Fantasyland. You will be able to see this from Pirates. You'll be able to see this pretty much anywhere. You cannot hide this. Alan's been there. You've seen how massive Radiator Springs is. It is huge. And look, it takes up so much real estate, and it gives you only one attraction. As far as it's something thrilling, unless they build out the whole thing and you get tow maters, which I don't think anybody wants any more of those kinds of attractions.
They do need a Luigi's Flying Tires or whatever that is, or well, I guess that's a copy of the one that's at Toy Story Land.
They need that to work for them to build it again.
Right, and all of these attractions are open top.
Fair point.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, as somebody who's ridden Test Track more than a few times, when it started raining when I went in, it wasn't raining when I went in the building, but it was raining when I came out of the building. This is the exact point, because they're not. This is California designers not remembering. Oh yeah, Florida. This is going to be a problem. Keep going, please. I mean, this is a worse idea than Tron. Putting Tron where it is. I'm incensed. I'm trying to find adjectives that are kind.
Culture. Here's the problem. YouTube. This is a problem, in my opinion. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is an iconic classic ride.
Yes,
it is. It drives tons of riders. It's one of the most thematic roller coasters ever built in any park that it appears. The problem is that if you put Radiator Springs Racers northwest of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, that when you ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, you're immersed, and that's purposefully so. Now you're going to be riding Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and watching a bunch of cartoon cars riding on a mountain that's bigger than you, or shall we say, a mesa that's bigger than you. And that's going to ruin Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. That's crazy to ruin one of your most popular attractions by people, feeling like, oh, I'm on this time-centric, historical mine train gone wild, the wildest ride in the wilderness. And you top the lift hill, and you're like, oh, look, there's Lightning McQueen. Yay. That doesn't work.
It doesn't. And again, I mean, everything about the attraction was supposed to be plussed up in Florida. Did you see any plussing up in Florida, guys?
Well, it can't be plussed up because they're not going to build the entire land that's around it in California Adventure.
You know what I do hear is getting plussed. I've heard from someone who has seen the Phase 2 map for Epic Universe that while Super Nintendo World is arriving there at Epic Universe, it's going to be a pretty close copy of what is in Hollywood. Phase 2 is what gets them to fulfill that promise of it being the largest Super Nintendo World, in the world. So there's some plussing for you.
There you go.
Right, and I think we have some idea of what's coming in Phase 2, right? I don't know if we could talk about it yet, but
well, I mean, the public rumor is that it's going to be Luigi's Mansion, which I think everyone would be excited for that.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Have you seen the video of the they're testing it over in Japan, but they're building it right now at Epic Universe, which is the Donkey Kong coaster.
Oh, that thing's ridiculous.
That looks insane.
That looks so much fun.
And it is a wrap yet again, folks. But just like watching the fireworks at the end of Disney and knowing you still have one day left on your ticket, don't worry, you'll be back again, we hope. We should be so fortunate. Folks, another thing that would make us fortunate is click the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Because yes, indeedly doodly, we do care about your thoughts, and we'd love to hear them, so drop them down below. Folks, don't forget the Pro Show is live Tuesdays at noon Eastern, and oftentimes, including this week, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss out. Member-exclusive content on the way, so if you're not yet a member, click the join button today. For the price of a soda, you can get a month's worth of exclusive member content on one of the fastest-growing channels out there, and frankly, we'd love to have you. So folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.